Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have a Princess of Cups right now. You're somebody with a very vivid imagination. You're somebody, I think, who is like, you're feeling all the possibilities of life. I think that you're dreaming a lot more than you used to. I think that you're feeling a lot of new feelings. I feel like you're feeling all of your feelings more. Okay? Things that, things that you've been doing throughout your life, sometimes they start to feel a little bit familiar, and they don't really hit as hard anymore. But I think now, like, colors are looking brighter, flavors are tasting stronger, the feelings, that your emotions feel like they're more powerful than they ever have been. So I feel like there is some kind of an awakening taking place in you, where it's kind of heightening your sensitivity. It feels like your aura right now is very sensitive to things. Your nervous system is very sensitive to things. And while it is amplifying all the positive things, colors, the sunset is just way more beautiful than it's ever been before, we also have to be careful that, anything that feels like a negative energy, that's going to be amplified too. Okay. The Princess of Cups is also, I think, feeling that, life is full of variety. That's almost like in our heart we feel that there's so much still out there for me to experience. And now the opportunity is there. We feel like we're just very emotionally curious. We're interested in a lot of things. We love a lot of things. We derive pleasure from a lot of different things. Yeah. And it may be that this is not something that we're familiar with. Maybe for a long time we kind of felt the opposite of that. Everything was just kind of stagnant. Everything was kind of dull. Now everything's like in living color here. And I think we're really enjoying that. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, though. Let's see what is going on. This is position 1. This is the station. It represents your subjective experience. This is a very subjective card, right? Because it's feeling and behavior. It's saying, I feel it, and that's what is important to me. However I feel in the moment, that is determining how I behave, how I react, and what my experience of life is. Okay? So this is that kind of immediate evaluation of life. I know within the first 2 seconds if I'm liking this or if I'm not liking this. And if I don't like it, I'm out of there. If I like it, I'm going to do more of it. Obviously that sounds like it could be a little risky, but this is the energy right now, and this is the way we are kind of looking at life. I am seeing if I like it, I'm going to do it. If I don't like it, I don't want it around. Okay, let's do the context here. There we have the Hierophant, the wisdom to kind of know how to direct that emotional energy. We don't necessarily want to let the Princess of Cups drive the car. So we have the wisdom of the Hierophant there. We're being guided by our higher soul, our higher self, guardian angel, or spirit, right? Being guided by that wisdom. We have an Ace of Wands. We have a 3, okay, I see it. The 3 of Swords behind you. A 7 of Wands up above, a 3 of Pentacles in front of you. We have the Moon card. We have an 8 of Swords. We have a 9 of Wands. We have a 5 of Pentacles. Very interesting cards. Yeah. I think the Three of Swords is really kind of explains why we have the Princess of Cups now. Because this is a card of, well, it's called sorrow. But this is a card of a memory. This is a card of a trauma. This is a card of a wound that we have. It's in the past. So I feel like this is something that you've explored. This is some knot of karma that you've untied and you've put it behind you. This is something that you've processed and let go of. And this is getting further in your rear view mirror. It could be through the help of a therapist or a psychoanalyst or of a mentor, of a teacher, or of your higher self, or some sort of guiding wisdom in your life has allowed you to put this behind you. And the more you put this behind you, the more we extricate ourselves from this knot of karma, the more you feel free to live and laugh and love, right? And to kind of feel your feelings. And it's kind of it's a new thing. When we're here, we're not really feeling our feelings in the right way. This is where life seems like it's full of suffering. This is us reliving some kind of trauma. This is something that's been blocking you. With the help of the Hierophant, we've started to untangle that. And now you have this sort of surge, a swelling of this emotional energy. And I think now it's kind of like, where are we going to apply that? This is really wonderful stuff. You're able to feel again, You're able to feel joy and love and pleasure. Where back here, there's been a restriction. Okay, this was something blocking you, let's say, from having a really healthy and loving relationship with anything, a person, a place, a thing, a relationship with food, a relationship with yourself, a relationship with the world, with nature, with your pets, whatever. This was a restrictive force, and it's being pushed behind you further. Okay, we're freeing ourselves from that. I like that a lot. And I think that there's still more work to do, but there's a lot more inspiration, there's a lot more possibility, a lot more potential in your life now. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it over here with Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you may know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we see two major arcana energies. The Hierophant is some sort of an external force to me. It may be like an external projection of your higher self. Okay, could come through the form of a spirit guide or an ancestor energy, or literally a person in your life. This is kind of the tour guide. Okay, this is in a way, this is Virgil in Dante's Inferno, right? Because the Hierophant is trying to lead you to the dark, scary forest inside yourself to show you where these knots of karma are. The more we can unblock these and unlock them, these are the buttons, the triggers, the sore spots, the weak spots, those knots of karma that we have to work our way through, okay, in order to find our power, our strength, and start creating our life to make the changes we want to make in life. So your Hierophant is trying to take you through the Hierophant is the one that initiates you, and you're being initiated into yourself here in order to deal with some of these knots and tangles of wires and these sore spots, weak spots, and the knots of karma. Okay? You got fire, fire, fire. We got the water right here, which is in some ways, this is us feeling a little bit of fear going into the dark, scary forest, but also already feeling the benefits, just doing a little bit of this inner work. Yeah, maybe at first it's difficult, there's tears, but we feel better right away. Okay? Of course, we have our air and our air here, and we've got our earth energies in these couple of places. So position 2 is the battlefield for you, and it really is about you trusting in this Hierophant, whether this is the counselor or the therapist or the teacher, or your own spirit guide or ancestor energy or your own holy guardian angel. The issue is to trust in this force that's trying to lead you through that dark, scary forest. To me, it feels like this is someone externally projected. So this is your own soul guiding you through this initiation, but it's coming through the medium. It's acting. Spirit is acting through the medium of another person. It may literally be a counselor or a therapist or something like that. Okay? Now, depending on the situation, this could be even a teacher, it could be a mentor, it could be your boss at work, the person that's training you, leading you through the dark, scary forest of your new job, and sort of guiding you through this process of working out whatever blockages you have that are preventing you from doing a good job at your work, right? So we can apply this to any dimension of life. But the idea is with the Hierophant that there is some sort of an external force or literally a person that is guiding you through this process, okay? And so the battlefield for you is to trust in this, or also to recognize that just because we're starting to feel a little bit better doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. Just because, oh, okay, I had a good cry, I feel better, I can stop now. The Hierophant is here to remind us that no, the work must continue. That this initiation is going deeper and it's taking longer, right? Just because the Princess of Cups is saying, oh no, I feel good now. You're not done. It's kind of like you're taking those antibiotics, you feel fine, so you're not going to take the rest. No, at least my doctor always tells me, finish the bottle, right? You got to finish the course that's prescribed to you. So whatever this is, it's a learning experience, and it kind of feels right now that like, oh, I feel good already. I don't need to come back tomorrow. You know, whether this is therapy or this is the gym, but this is that force in you, really, that's being projected outward. That's saying, you're not done. Yeah, it feels good now, but you're not done. Okay, there's more. Now we're going underneath the surface and we're tapping in with our willpower, right? With our Ace of Wands. This is that force of will. This is that energy. This is your attention. This is your vision. And it's our third position. It's deep in your soul here. That's something that you need to muster. And that really is as good as we feel now, or as maybe it's kind of like with the Princess of Cups, we're a little scared. And so we're just kind of saying like, oh, you know what? I feel good enough, so I don't need to come back tomorrow. We're forcing ourselves to do it. Sometimes the Ace of Wands is literally just the willpower. Focus on what you're doing and make sure you keep doing it, even though it's difficult. Seven of Wands, difficulty, right? This is the position of the obstacle. This is the fourth position, the dwarf. It's the recent past, and it's something, the recent past is the long distance past as well, right? Because the Three of Swords is a card of memory. It's a card of a situation or a trauma or an event that we keep reliving and it's been affecting our lives. We're putting it behind us now, okay, through whatever work we're engaged with here. And this is a process that needs to continue to happen again and again and again. The process of working through our karma is not something it's just one and done. It's like, oh, I feel better, I'm done. I don't need to come back tomorrow. No, come back tomorrow, be on time, you know. It's an ongoing process here, yeah. The Seven of Wands at the top here is the difficulty. That's your valor. And this is a Mars in Leo energy. It's saying that, yeah, we're going to need to be really strong here, because as much as we feel like we have succeeded, we've only just crossed the first threshold, okay? And the first threshold, of course, is the threshold card of the moon here. We're not done. It will get more difficult for you, but it's worth it. Yeah. It may feel already like this was a massive success. There's more work to do. And it's going to get more difficult. This is kind of like a David and Goliath kind of thing. It's like this is the end of the movie. When you know those horror movies, those monster movies, where it's like at the very end, they defeat the monster. Oh, okay, wasn't that hard? It was kind of easy. There's still 20 minutes of the movie left. guess what happens? A bigger monster comes back. Or as soon as the hero turns around and says, oh, I did it, it was easy, the monster rises up behind them and the battle begins again. Okay? Watch a monster movie. It always works like that. And that's what this card is kind of about. Let's say, let's not turn our back on it now because it's not done yet. Maybe that 3 of Swords is the feeling here. With these two, it feels like, okay, I've already worked through that karma. I'm fine. Look at me, happy-go-lucky. Everything's great. The Hierophant is here to school you and say, don't turn your back on that 3 of Swords because it's going to rise, it's going to come back, and it's going to try to ambush you again. We need to be on alert. We don't want to be anxious. We don't want to be, tangled up by that thing, but we don't want to be ambushed by it either. We're in the middle of this work. It's not the time for us to just, as a Princess of Cups would, to just feel like I've done it. This is, the protagonist of the movie that says, I defeated the monster. It was easy. Let's go celebrate, everybody. And then everybody's like, look behind you. And then we turn around and we see, oh gosh, it's even bigger and more menacing than before. And then that's when the real, crescendo of the movie takes place. Okay. I like monster movies. I've always liked monster movies ever since I was a kid. But that's kind of the Princess of Cups here. So with the 7 of Wands, we know that I can't turn my back on this. It's not over yet. I may feel like I've defeated this karma or this trauma or this weak spot, sore spot, this button, this trigger. I may feel like I've overcome a complex in my subconscious, but it's still there. And if I turn my back on it now, especially when I'm in this very sensitive state, it can rise up even stronger than it was, and it can defeat me, at the end of this movie, right? So we got to be very careful. The 3 of Pentacles in the future position is reminding us that there is still more work to do. Yeah, we are not up at the summit of the mountain yet. And it may be in your particular work, whatever you're doing in life. I don't know if this is psychological work, depth work, if it's karmic, if it's a job, if it's a skill you're trying to learn or something, right? We feel like we've defeated the foe and we've made some progress, but we're not out of the woods yet, okay? Maybe this is a work thing. I don't know. Could be your employment. The 3 of Pentacles is Mars and Capricorn. So it's saying there is still more mountain to climb. We may have found a little plateau. We got through the first real challenging obstacle. It's kind of like you're climbing with a mountain with an experienced climber, and you have this really just grueling, challenging day climbing the mountain. You finally get over the edge, and you're on this flat plateau, and you think, oh my gosh, we made it. We made it. We got to the top of the mountain. Yes, I can't believe it. And your mountain climber buddy says, no. That was just the first boulder. We haven't even started to climb this mountain yet. And you're like, oh no, you're kidding me, right? And so that can happen literally in life where we think we've gotten through the worst of it and we're ready to celebrate, but there's still more to do. Okay, we don't want to let our guard down just yet. The 3 of Pentacles is that card that says there's more work to be done. Now, you could stop now, sure, and take what you've already earned, take what you have gained from this part of the journey, and you can go home. That's fine. But you have it in you to keep going. You can push yourself further. We can keep going deeper into this. Again, doesn't matter if it's some kind of psychological work, if this is you learning how to ride a bicycle, this is your business, this is your employment, this is your physical fitness, whatever it is. Okay? There's infinitely more that we can do. There's really no end. That's the kind of almost the annoying part of the 3 of Pentacles is that there is no real summit here. You can go as far as you want. You can keep going and going and going and going, or you can decide to stop and say, I've gone enough. This is as far as I want to take it, and I'm good. I'm good with this. Okay? But don't mistake that initial surge of pleasant feelings as a stop sign. Don't start to believe that this is the end of the road. Okay? I think you have more in you. Path of the Serpent Moon card. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, by the way, please do. The Moon card is that dark, scary forest. And this is your general energy. Okay. Again, this is a card of a lot of imagination. This is the card of a lot of creativity. Okay. And this is a card of kind of an infinite depth inside of us. When we're exploring our own inner nature, our own interior landscape, there is no limit. The mind is infinite. The universe is infinite. Okay. So we can explore as much as we want. The sun card down there is kind of like your flashlight of attention. And you can explore your inner nature, your psyche, your soul, your mind, the astral, the universe, whatever, as much as you want. Okay? It is infinite in there. And it can also be scary, right? There's a lot of darkness, and we can only see whatever we can see with our little flashlight. Shines a beam of light on a certain thing, and we just move that beam around, we look at other things, and we explore. So I think that you are on this inner vision quest right now, and you're being guided by, it feels like there's something going on in the external world that might correspond to what's taking place on the interior world. This is the card of, kind of making the progress. We're crossing certain thresholds. Okay, we're going through a doorway. Okay, we got through the door. Good. Okay, feels nice. There's still a lot more doors to explore if you choose to. Or you can choose to leave the forest. This is a divine doorway. Let's do a divine doorway oracle card. I gotta close my eyes so I'm not biased by the images. Okay, here we go. A distant kiss and a prayer flag. I wish of all wishes that you were here. Through sunlight and rain, I need you near. Okay. I wonder if this is processing some kind of grief for you. Yeah, this could be, I think, for some of you, this wish, right? I wish that you were here. So it implies that somebody is not here. Yeah. Somebody is not here. Before I did the reading, I had a vision of the Five of Cups. I don't know why. Sometimes it pops into my head. Sometimes it literally is the first card that comes out. But as I was getting ready for the video, I was seeing the Five of Cups, which is a disappointment. The Five of Cups is the card that says something should be here, but it's not. So it could be that our Moon card is us in that interior world trying to find somebody, trying to make contact with somebody. Maybe there is an older male energy, a mentor or a guide or a teacher energy in your life that's no longer in your life. Maybe they have passed into spirit. Maybe you're trying to establish some kind of inner contact with somebody, okay? Now they had some kind of a glass, I'm seeing a glass mug. It's like just like a glass coffee cup or something, right? And they used to wear a necklace as well. It was like beads. It was something like this. This is a Tibetan prayer wheel. But they also had something like this, right? Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it is a family member, a relative. Maybe it is some kind of an ancestor energy. Because I feel like that's who we're searching for, and I feel like we're trying to make contact with them inside, but also it's like we're trying to find them out in the world again too. That's interesting. They used to keep a lot of things in their pockets or something. They always had like something in their pocket that they could just like give you, and it's just like whatever they had in their pocket would be like, oh, here's a toy. I feel like it was like a grandpa or like an uncle or something like that, right? Interesting. Anyway, in the environment we have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is complexity. I wonder if this is, in a way, us accepting the complexity of life. Very often the Eight of Swords is a card of interference. It's a card of a tangle of wires that we get ensnared in a briar patch of our own thoughts. Okay? I wonder if in a way you're kind of like, you're accepting your own mind, the way your mind works. I'm neurodivergent. It's kind of, there comes a point where we have to just accept the way we do things, you know. We should insert a little caveat here, because the Three of Swords can lead to self-sabotage. Okay, so I think that we have to be aware of how this past thing, this knot of karma, has been affecting your experience of the world. Because that's the position here, okay? The position of the environment, the position of what's outside of you, okay? That you might be experiencing the world as always kind of blocking your progress, or being way too complicated where you can't, accomplish your goals. But really, that's your Three of Swords that's being projected into the environment and sabotaging your progress. Okay, so it could be that, like, I don't know, it's like I try to talk to people and it always ends up with a misunderstanding or a confusion, and it's just like, people don't understand me, people don't get me. And so we're seeing the world as being like just a jumble of confusion, just chaos. I can't make sense of anything. People are talking to me, but they're not making any sense. I just don't know what's going on. A lot of that is the self-sabotage. A lot of that is this complex that we have, where it's the complex is sort of protecting us from other people. Okay, and so it's almost like we're protecting our own mental health by having like that wall that prevents us from really communicating effectively with others. Okay, so that being said, this card is also, I think, us accepting the way our own mind works. I think that you have a very complex way of thinking. I think that you make a lot of connections where there aren't obvious connections. And I think sometimes, people don't really know what you're thinking or what you're communicating, because you're making a lot of connections behind the scenes, but you're only telling the other person a little small portion of that. And so they might be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, that happens to me in my readings, if you've ever noticed that I'll be thinking so quickly that what comes out of my mouth is just a little chunk of everything that I've been thinking. And sometimes I'll cram words together. Do you do that too? Where we sort of compound words, we cram them together, but they shouldn't be stuck together like that. Because our mind is moving faster than our communication skills are, okay? And so sometimes we may be misunderstood by people. I think in that way we are sort of like, we're trying to slow down a little bit so that we can focus on our communication, but at the same time we're accepting that this is how my brain works, and I have to use it as an ally and not as something that I need to defeat and overcome. Okay, this is a Jupiter in Gemini energy. So this is an expansion of the mental connections. We're able to make connections other people can't see. And other people aren't going to know how this thing relates to this thing, because you went through this whole circuitous web of connections to get from here to here. Most people just want a straight line. Most people want simplicity. Okay? So that's something very interesting about you. In the fear, worry, and concern position 9, the specter, the anxiety is about the strength. Is the straight line of connection, look at that. And that's the sun and the moon, okay? So it's kind of like we're looking for very simple answers. We're looking for very simple kind of connections. Whatever we're looking for in the dark, scary forest, we wish that it could just be kind of like obvious. You know, we would see it and it'd be the first thing we look for, and there it is, I found it. It's like when you're looking for your keys, it's like you just want it to be in the first place you look. But very often it's not, right? And so we have a lot of complexity to work through. Yeah. And I think what we really need here is strength. This is a card of strength. Yeah. This is a card of having that sense of purpose. And having, to me, feels like confidence. And I think part of our confidence is going to come from us accepting how our mind works. Okay? Now, that's not to excuse any kind of behavior. I think by accepting how our mind works and having confidence in ourselves allows us then to optimize the way our mind works. You know? So it's not necessarily we're accepting it and I don't need to change anything. I'm perfect the way I am. Yeah. But we can take ourselves as we are, the way our mind works. We can try to utilize it in a way that's going to be the most productive for us. Okay? Rather than it sort of sabotaging us, how do we use it as an ally, as a tool? We have to accept it and get to know it and try to find a way to optimize. That's the word I keep hearing, okay? Now, you do something very interesting during the full moon, don't you? I don't know if you like walk backwards or you do something in reverse during the full moon. Yeah. I see that's like a ritual or something for you, yeah. So the 5 of Pentacles is the destiny. It's the 10th card. It's the culmination of all of this. And what this is change. This is the card that says, I know how to build the life that I want. I know what changes I need to make. This is a card of progress. This is a card of worry, right? This is the card of us recognizing things in our life that we need to modify. Okay, whether this is modification of behaviors or making changes in the outer world, it's like we're trying to find the gold of life. And we see that light is starting to break through from underneath the cracks of these discs. So I feel like a real breakthrough is coming for you. And we have to say, okay, you know what? I feel like I've made progress already. This is starting to feel pretty good. I don't want to quit. I know that I need to keep going. See, all this fire and earth is covering up that water energy, saying, yeah, okay, it feels good, but hey, let's focus. Let's get back to work. The breakthrough is coming. We have to have confidence. We have to work with ourselves, in the state we find ourselves. We have to face our fears, and that breakthrough is coming. Whether this is something in the physical world, external to you, or if this is a psychological breakthrough, or a karmic breakthrough, a spiritual breakthrough, it's coming. What's the mystery card going to be? Maybe the breakthrough card, maybe the Tower. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. 2 of Pentacles. So this is the card of change. This is the card of a harmonious change, a harmonious and proactive step forward. Okay, so this is us kind of digging for that breakthrough, digging for that gold again, that we're going to keep going. Okay, this is the card of, to me it feels like things getting better. Yeah, and it's repeatable. And so it's kind of like Spirit saying every step you take is going to feel better. You may have to go through the difficult act of taking the step, but you're going to feel better and better and better and better. So whatever we're feeling now, we feel like, wow, okay, that was challenging, but now I feel pretty good. Okay? It's not the time to quit. It's the time to do it again. And again and again, and that breakthrough will happen. Yeah. This is the Spirit's way of saying you took a step and it was difficult, but it felt good, right? Take another step. And now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo on Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.